welcome back to my Transformers Prime episode reviews. Today we're taking a look at Stronger, Faster.
Harder, better, faster, stronger.
In this episode, Ratchet tests out a synthetic form of Energon on himself, but the fuel seems to have some unexpected side effects. We begin this episode with Raph talking to Ratchet about the synthetic Energon formula that he's working on, which was obviously pieced together from Bulkhead's formulas in the last episode. Nice little bit of continuity there.
I see that you come equipped with protective goggles.
I can watch?
I know this is a joke, but eyeglasses should never be considered adequate protection when actual safety goggles are required. They are not a substitute for real personal protective equipment. That said, I did find this line pretty cute. Raph and Ratchet's friendship is so adorable. And just look at Ratchet's little smile here. Aww, it's so cute. We so rarely get to see Ratchet smile. Although, with this talk of coming equipped with protective goggles, I couldn't help but be reminded of the Rescue Bots and the Rescue Bot recruits, who do indeed come equipped with built-in protective goggles. So, Ratchet's initial trial proves successful, but he says it'll require more testing to make sure that it's safe for Autobot consumption.
Which is rather unfortunate since our own Energon reserves are at an all-time low. Natural Energon is in such short supply on your planet, and Megatron seems to have his oily claws buried deep in all the Earth's deposits.
I guess this explains why RC and Bulkhead were exploring an old Decepticon mine a few episodes ago. They were looking for any Energon they can find because their own supply is severely low. After the Autobots roll out to fight the Decepticons, Ratchet decides to test the synthetic Energon on himself, which turns his eyes green. I kind of like Ratchet with green eyes. Green eyes? Red and white color scheme? Remind you of anyone? So, with RC injured and the other Autobots blocked, Ratchet ground bridges himself to her rescue, where he makes short work of the Viacons, with an unexpected level of speed, style, and flair. Back at their base, Ratchet dubs the new synthetic Energon as Synth-En, but Optimus advises caution and further testing before they distribute it to the other Autobots. This is followed by Bulkhead and Ratchet in one of the other rooms in the base, which we so rarely get to see. Usually we just see them in that one main room. Here, Ratchet tries to get Bulkhead to spar with him by slapping him. Ratchet's cyber hormones must be out of control because he then threatens Bumblebee and makes a pass at RC?
How's it humming?
Did he just?
Stronger, faster, studlier.
That? I don't even know what to say about that. Are we sure this Synth-En formula doesn't contain testosterone or something? So Ratchet then goes on the next mission with the other Autobots, where he rushes headfirst into the action.
It's all right. I'm an emergency vehicle.
Ratchet tracks down a Viacon miner. I mean, not a young Viacon. Well, he could be young, but I mean a Viacon who mines Energon. And he proceeds to torture the poor Viacon for information.
Ratchet, what are you doing?
Getting results.
And breaking protocol. Autobots do not inflict harm unless all other options have been exhausted.
Calm is the last thing we need. Calm is what lost us Cybertron.
A direct assault on the Decepticons would only provoke retaliation. I will not endanger innocent human lives.
Yet you seem to have no problem endangering ours. Just ask Cliffjumper. Oh, I forgot. He couldn't be here today.
That's it!
The Synth-En may be going to Ratchet's head, but I can't help but think that what he's saying is actually how he feels. I do think that he's sick of the Autobots slowly losing. Sick of them being reactionary instead of being more proactive in their war against the Decepticons. And I believe he hates the fact that they lost Cybertron. As we'll see in future episodes, their home planet seems to be very important to Ratchet. But back to this episode, Ratchet goes after Megatron by himself, where we find Breakdown talking to another Energon miner about Arachnid.
Yeah, she's kind of domineering and the extra arms are weird, but I find myself intrigued by her.
Ooh, so Breakdown thinks that Arachnid is kind of hot too? I guess this means that Breakdown is bi then, since he is currently in a relationship with Knockout, right? Those two didn't break up, did they? So Ratchet then confronts Megatron.
Oh no, Megatron. I am your Doctor of Doom.
I think you got the wrong comic book company, Ratchet. You see, your voice actor, Jeffrey Combs, didn't play Doctor Doom. He played the Question in Justice League Unlimited. And that's DC. Doctor Doom is from Marvel. Although I do think that he would make a good Doctor Doom if he was cast. But sadly, even juiced up on Synth-En, Ratchet is no match for the former gladiator Megatron, who critically injures the good doctor. Knockout once again threatens to decapitate an Autobot with his buzzsaw. And while he and Ratchet are fighting, he manages to make contact with Ratchet's head crest. And for a second, I thought he was going to cut it off, just like how Ratchet in Transformers Animated had his broken head crest thanks to Lockdown. Gladly, they did not go that route, but I still think this might have been an intentional little nod to the previous series.
What are you going to do? Drink it?
Well, we have seen Transformers in other series, both before and after this one, drink Energon in order to consume it. Why wouldn't it be the same for Transformers in this series? Although, considering that this is the same Synth-En that Ratchet bled out, it would kind of be like drinking a glass of your own blood. Ugh. So Ratchet destroys the container and collapses. But luckily the other Autobots arrive in time to save him. They get him back to base, Ratchet seems to be back to himself, and fortunately for the Autobots, they seem to have recovered a large cache of regular Energon from the Decepticons. So I guess now they're stocked up and don't have to worry about running low anytime soon. And this episode ends with Knockout appearing to salvage a mere droplet of Synth-En, which we will see return in a future episode. Well, I loved this episode of Transformers Prime. I'm happy to see Ratchet get a focus episode. It was kind of cool seeing him be all badass, although I definitely prefer the original Ratchet, not hopped up on Synth-En. I couldn't help but feel that this episode felt like one of those TGIF special episodes about the dangers of using drugs, specifically steroids. Ratchet opening what seems to be some kind of locker and injecting himself with a dose of Synth-En definitely appears to be meant as an allusion to steroids. I can't help but be reminded of the episode of Dinosaurs where Robbie wanted to get buffed to impress a girl, so he started doing Thornoids. And he ends up turning into an animal, much like Ratchet does in this episode. Once again, I thought this was a great episode of Transformers Prime, and I love how it ties into other ones in the series. So, as always, let me know what you thought of this episode down in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff, and I'll see you here next week for the next episode of Transformers Prime, One Shall Fall, which sort of acts as a prelude to the 3-part Season 1 finale, One Shall Rise. So, I'll see you back here next week for that.